In this story, you can read along with me in your book. You will know it is time to turn over the page when you hear this. Let's begin now. Fire hazard. Jesse Mock, an ex-motorcycle cop injured in the line of duty, now a police troubleshooter, has been recruited for a top-secret government mission to ride Street Hawk, an all-terrain attack motorcycle designed to fight urban crime, capable of incredible speeds of 300 miles an hour and immense firepower. Only one man, Federal Agent Norman Tuttle, knows Jesse Mock's true identity. The man, the machine, Street Hawk. Jesse is addressing a group of boys in the poorer part of the city. It is part of a new public relations exercise to make the kids more cooperative with the police department. They have not been very attentive, and Jesse is well aware of this, as, with relief, he comes to the end of his talk.
And that, fellas, gives you a fair idea of a day in the life of a motorcycle cop. Now, are there any questions?
A voice pitches up from the back of the room.
Yeah, why couldn't they send us Street Hawks?
For the first time that evening, the boys show signs of interest.
That's right, man. Street Hawk's the guy who really knows about wheels.
Jesse gives a little smile.
I guess he's too busy to talk to you right now.
One of the boys looks at him with contempt.
How will you know whether he's busy or not? The cops don't know nothing about him. You don't know nothing about nothing.
Jesse gives a shrug of his shoulders.
Okay, you guys. Then I guess there's nothing more I can tell you. Good night.
He steps down from the little platform, and another voice pipes up from the safety of the back.
What do you think you know about motorcycles? You don't even ride one.
The rest of the boys roar with laughter. One of the organizers of the group walks over to help Jesse as he comes down the steps.
Sorry about the boys' behavior. They don't mean any harm. They don't realize you were a top guy on a bike before your accident.
Jesse gives a mirthless laugh.
I sometimes forget it myself.
Oh, something I almost forgot, Mr. Mock. There was a call for you while you were talking. Someone called Norman. He wouldn't say what it was about.
I think I know. I must be going.
Won't you stay for a cup of coffee? We always give our guest speakers a cup of coffee.
I'll take a rain check. This may be important.
Soon Jesse is at the Street Hawk control base, where Norman is waiting for him impatiently.
I think we've got something at last on those fire-raising attacks, Jesse. I'll fill you in while you get kitted up.
With a sigh of relief, Jesse removes his street clothes and pulls on the black leather Street Hawk uniform, which fits him like a glove.
I hope this information is a bit more accurate than we've had up to now. I never seem to get to the scene of the crime until the fire department are on their way home.
Norman is impatient to interrupt.
I've patched into the police department computer, and it appears they've picked up some guy who's turned informer. It's an insurance racket. They burn down derelict buildings to save spending money on demolishing them. And they get the insurance money into the bargain.
Jesse pulls on his boots and straps them tight.
Yeah, and the trouble is those buildings are not always derelict. People use them. Somebody's going to get killed if we don't stop them soon.
Norman nodded.
Well, this could be the time you do just that, because I've got the place they're going to hit tonight.
Norman goes to his computer and rapidly taps in a coded instruction. The display map of the city in front of him lights up and an indicator flashes.
There you are. That's where it's all going to happen. North corner of East and Maple. Disused warehouse.
Jesse stops as he is about to put on his helmet.
Wait a minute. That's where I've just come from. That building's not unused. It's a meeting place for the boys of the district, and they're all there right now. Let's go.
Norman presses the release key, and the door of Street Hawk's garage swings open. The machine stands there, waiting, its enormous power hidden beneath its sleek aerodynamic lines. In a moment, Jesse is astride the saddle, and he pulls his visor down.
All set.
Norman concentrates at his computer control, presses a key, and the motorcycle roars into life. The secret door into the street rolls back, and Street Hawk is on its way. The digital display projected onto the visor screen counts off the miles per hour more and more rapidly as the machine accelerates. Norman's voice crackles over the radio.
Looks like we're late again. Just intercepted a call to the fire department for that address. Stand by for hyperthrust. 4, 3, 2, 1.
When the music stops, turn the cassette over.
Street Hawk hurtles forward like a bullet from a gun. Controlled by the base computer, there is no danger of collision as the figures on the readout indicate 300 miles per hour. Norman disengages hyperthrust, and Jesse takes over control as he nears the warehouse. He slows down to a stop in a side street from which he can observe the target address. Smoke is beginning to billow out of the lower story windows, and a small crowd of onlookers gather. The sound of sirens are heard in the distance as the fire department answers the call. Jesse notices a car parked close to the warehouse. The driver and his passenger seem to be waiting for something to happen. Jesse looks directly at them and talks back to Norman.
That car looks kind of suspicious. Are you getting pictures okay?
Norman's voice answers promptly.
Bright and clear and all being recorded onto tape. Do you think the guys in the car are responsible for setting fire to the warehouse?
Could be. When they drive off, I'll follow. Maybe they'll lead us to the boss. But what are they waiting for?
He soon has the answer, as a muffled explosion comes from inside the warehouse and a ball of fire bursts out through the lower floor windows. Then the car moves on. Jesse reports back to Norman.
Must have been waiting to make sure it was well alight. I'm on my way after them.
Jesse switches on the engine. Then he notices a figure at one of the upper story windows of the warehouse. A cry goes up from the crowd of onlookers.
It's Tommy! He's still in there!
Jesse recognizes the voice as that of the man he had talked to at the meeting earlier that evening. And Tommy was one of the boys who had laughed at him. Norman is surprised that Jesse has not set off in pursuit of the car.
They're getting away, Jesse!
Sorry, Norman. I've got something to do here first.
He turns the machine and drives back up the side street, then turns back again to face the warehouse. The flames have spread upwards, and the figure of Tommy has almost disappeared in the great clouds of smoke. The firefighters have arrived, but they do not have the equipment to reach the trapped boy. They are driven back by the intense heat. Jesse revs the engine, the clutch engages, and Street Hawk begins to move towards the blazing building. The throttle opens and the speed increases. Faster and faster the machine roars on until at exactly the right moment, Jesse selects vertical thrust. The Street Hawk takes off, and its momentum carries it up and over the fire department vehicles and the amazed crowd. Up higher still, and straight through a window of the floor where the boy is trapped. This story had been used as one large storage area, and there are no dividing walls. Tommy looks in wonder as the magnificent machine bounces once and skids to a halt close by him. He does not recognize Jesse's voice as it comes to him through the helmet.
Jump up behind me, Tommy, then hold on.
The boy does as he is told. The smoke is getting thicker, and flames are beginning to break through the floor. Street Hawk rolls forward, gathering speed. Jesse drives around the warehouse and then sets the machine straight at the window through which he came. The boy clings on for dear life as the smoke is forced aside in the slipstream. And in a moment, Street Hawk is airborne again. Delicately controlling vertical thrust, Jesse is able to set the machine down gently, well away from the crowd. The boy climbs down, trembling with excitement.
Gee, Street Hawk, that was some trip. Wait till I tell the guys.
But Street Hawk can wait for nothing. He roars away before anyone can stop him. Norman's voice comes through the helmet speaker.
Great rescue, Jesse. But is the machine okay?
Perfect shape, Norman. I'm afraid those fire racers have got away, though.
Not to worry. I've got their pictures on tape. Next time you'll be on the scene before they are. Now, get back to control. I want to check my baby out.
its engine purring effortlessly. Norman's baby speeds back to base, taking its rider back to his cover in Police Public Relations, which will now have yet another Street Hawk exploit to explain away.